So welcome back to the Business Behind Your Business podcast for 2024. It's great to have you back with us. And look, how is your year going already? For many of us, we're already well into the year. It feels like we've been in 2024 for some time. And in fact, when we're recording, it's now February. So why are we starting back in February? Well, here in Sydney, Australia, we have this phenomenon which I call the school holiday effect, or the Christmas shutdown, which seems to be quite a prolonged period of just lay back and just relax and chill out and forget about things for a period. So we have the school holidays in Australia start before Christmas and end in January with school going back. So we have this period where a lot of families have taken time off. A lot of small businesses have sort of eased back their operations. They've shut down. Maybe the manufacturing has shut down. A lot of the trades closed down for a period. So we have this period of dormancy in Australia, and this I guess almost we go into hibernation over summer. So we enjoy our summer holidays here, but we do go into hibernation. And that poses a few problems for business owners, and it's almost like that we've missed the start. We've missed the start of the year because, we're now in February. School is back. We're back into the swing of it. And it's almost like we've missed that sort of impetus to sort of really plan where we're going with the year and what we need to do. And suddenly we've found ourselves back doing the same things that we were doing at the end of last year. And we feel like we're going nowhere. Well, that's what I'm hearing from a lot of business owners. So one of the things we often do when we come to a new year, so end of the financial year or end of a calendar year, is we decide to do things differently, and we decide to make a plan of how we're going to do things differently. So one of the questions I'm often asked, though, is when we're now in February, we're 6 weeks after the end of the year, is it actually too late to make a plan for your business? Is it too late to document or formulate your business plan so that you can get started for the current year? Now, my view is it is never too late to start your business plan, never too late to plan for your business. And the part of the reason is we seem to be bound by these dates on the calendar, dates being the end of the calendar year or the start of a calendar year or the end of a financial year. And those dates tend to, restrict our thinking in that we have to start at those times. Now, the best time to start your business plan is right now. If you haven't already got a plan in place, now's the best time to start formulating a plan for how you're going to go. Because really what we're looking at is how you're going to plan to take your business forward and grow your business in the next 12 months. Next 12 months, next 3 years, next 5 years, what do you want to do? But starting today. So you're not bound by any date on a calendar. So that's what we're going to jump into today, why it's very important for you to start now on your business plan. Get started today, and don't be restricted by thinking you've missed the boat. You haven't missed the boat. It's not too late. So let's look at what you should be doing for your business plan. Now, look, I must say, when we talk about business plans, one of the things that really bothers me is that people think they have to have a very detailed, extensive, they have to devote weeks and hours of time to formulate this business plan. That's not what we're really on about. Yes, you can go to those lengths of details, and there are a lot of situations where that detail is really important, really essential. But the key thing of a business plan is it actually defines the goals you have and the actions you need to take to achieve those goals. And that can be a very simple process. We don't need to make it more complicated. And look, what we're going to do is just really quick run through of how we can create a very simple, strategic, and actionable plan for your business right now. And we're going to make our template available to you. You can link to the template. It'll be in the show notes. It'll also be on the Business Behind Your Business website. That's www.thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com website under the podcast. And we'll have a link to where you can download our business plan template to help you really get started and build some actions that are going to create some benefit for your business this year, this next coming 12 months. Okay, so let's get stuck in and have a look at what we're going to talk about here. So what is the purpose of a business plan? So a lot of the time we have these ideas of what we want to do and what could be great for our business and, what we need to do, what resources we need, but we don't have any organization about. We don't know, well, hang on, is that actually aligned to the actions I need to take right now, or, that I can do right now, but it's not the priority. It's not what I should be spending my time on. That's an action that should come afterwards, after I've done 2 other steps in my process. So it might be, I want to capitalize on buying some equipment because we've got the end of year sales. But before we can buy the equipment, we need to actually, work on our processes and decide, well, hang on, do we actually need that equipment? Do we need new? Do we need secondhand? Is there a demand for us to create more product using that equipment? That's the first thing. Is there a demand? Are we able to sell what stock we have? So there are some steps we need to take and a bit of thought we need to do. So grab the business plan template, set aside some time, an hour or 2 hours, and just, take yourself away from the business, away from distraction, and just think about your business for an hour and document, using the business plan template, the answers to the questions. We're just going to run through very quickly. Now, this is a brief overview. I'd love you to come back and revisit that and check out the resources on the Business Behind Your Business website. And we can help you get into this planning process, and not just a planning process for the sake of planning, but a planning process so that you can action and take massive steps to really unlock your business, the capacity of your business to achieve the goals that you have to give you that financial freedom. So let's get started. Okay. So what we want to do is just write down the specifics of what we're going to do, what our goals are, evaluating our business, and then we're going to proceed to implement those plans. Okay. Implement is the key. We need to actually act on those. So what we want to concentrate here is what the plan contains, not what it looks like. So we've seen those big volumes of business plans, lots of content, and they've ticked all the boxes, but they're not workable. Okay, they're not workable for you, because if you invest a lot of time and then all of a sudden you feel, I've got to get back to doing the business, and then you don't actually go and implement. So we want to avoid that situation and make sure that it becomes a working tool. Your business plan needs to be an operational tool to help you manage your business and help you work towards being successful. So it's a working tool. It's not a static document. It's a working tool, and it's going to help you plan your action. So the first thing is we need to know what you want to achieve. What do you want to achieve in your business? Okay, what are your goals? I am guessing that if you are like me and every other business owner, you are not happy with the results you're achieving. You're not happy with the results you achieved last year or the last 12 months. You want to do better. You want more. Okay, so let's look at the process of what we want to achieve. We also need to know where we're starting from. Where is our starting point? Because unless we know our starting point, we don't know the path we need to take to get to where we want to be. Okay, we don't know if we don't know where we're starting from, we don't know the first steps we need to take. Okay, so your plan that we're going to create here is going to help you go from where you are now to where you want to be. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, the key here, and reminding you that we just want to keep this simple. And the reason we want to keep it simple is that the simple plan is more likely to be used. Okay, so let's have a very not basic, but simple plan that is strategic and actionable at the same time. And those 3 things, being simple, strategic, and actionable, are going to help you have a plan that you're going to implement and work on to achieve those goals. Okay, so we're going to get results. So we want to move your business ahead right now. Okay, so that's the aim, is to spend time capturing your goals in a simple business plan so we can move you ahead right now. Get started. Okay, so the first thing is we're starting from where are you at? Now, so on the business plan template that you can download from the website, download via the show notes, we're going to look at 4 key points, 4 key starting points. We're looking at what's your current level of revenue for the business. So in the last 12 months, what was the revenue? What was the turnover? What was the sales? We're looking at gross sales here. The second thing we want to know is what was your profit for the last year? Okay, what was the profit for your last year? Now, you might want to add back in the salary that you took, particularly if it was a haphazard salary as an owner, and look at what's the profit of the business before you take your remuneration, your profits out. Okay, what's that level? Third key thing I want to know is what's your current level of stress on a scale of 0, where there's absolutely no stress, to 10, where you've just you're at breaking point, or maybe you've even broken. If your stress level is 10, you're probably at breaking point, and we encourage you to go and talk to somebody about that. But if your level of stress is high, we want to work out reducing that through your business. And the fourth thing I want to know is, how many hours of work are you doing in the business per week? How many hours of work are you as a business owner doing in your business each week? Okay, they're the 4 starting points, the 4 figures we're going to look at to start. Okay, and then we're going to pinpoint where you're going to be in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years from now. Okay, we're going to look at those 3 goals. Okay, so if you can't think 3 or 5 years ahead, just think 12 months ahead. That's a great starting point. Let's just focus on one goal at the moment and make that happen. Okay, so we're going to look at, what do you want to achieve? So in 12 months' time, what would you like your level of sales to be? What would you like your profit to be before you get paid? How much profit do you need? Or would you like, how much profit would you like? Because what you need and what you like might be 2 different things. What you like might be a lot more than what you need. So if your current level of profit is not what you need, well, there's a problem. We need to address that. We need to increase your sales, increase your revenue, increase your profit. But if your current level of profit is what you need, but you would really like more because you want to build some wealth for when you exit your business, when you retire. Okay, so put in place what your goals are. Okay, so once we determine the goals, we can then say, okay, if I want to say move my revenue from $250,000 in the last 12 months to $500,000 in the next 12 months, what do I need to change in my business? What needs to change? What needs to happen? Okay, well, the obvious thing there is we need more sales. So how are we going to double our sales in 12 months' time? What actions do we need to take to make that happen? Okay, so what level of profit is that going to achieve? If we double our sales from $250,000 to $500,000, are we going to be able to double our profit? If our operating costs, our fixed costs stay the same, we might be able to increase our profit by more than double. But let's set a goal. Okay, so what is our goal for profit? And then, at the moment, how stressed are we in our business? How stressful is our business? If we've currently got a stress level of 9 out of 10, then we need to bring that down quickly. So what do we need to do in that business to reduce your level of stress? Now, your stress might be related to the fact that you don't have enough revenue and you're not making profit. Okay, so instantly we can look at that and say, well, hey, if we can increase your revenue, which will increase your profit, that's going to reduce a lot of your stress, a lot of your financial stress. Okay, and it might also mean that we can free up some of your time to focus on other things. So what might you need to do? So if we want to increase our sales by $250,000 to get to $500,000, we might need to put on somebody to do the selling for us. And that might be the case that you are really good at making product or designing product or doing basically what you do, the technician side of it. You might be really good at that. But when it comes to actually selling and getting across the line, converting a customer or a prospect to a customer, that might not be your strength. So you might need to say, well, I need to hire somebody to do that. Okay, and that might be the action that you need to take. You might need to hire somebody in order to increase your sales revenue, which will increase your profit. And that'll reduce your stress because you don't actually like selling. And selling, that action of selling, might be one of the things that's causing you a lot of stress. Okay, and then that sales time or that time spent with prospects, and you might be spending too much time doing that at the moment and not actually producing the work. And if you were producing more work, you could actually sell. So there's a bit of a cycle there. So what resources do you need? It might be that in your business you also need to have better marketing because customers don't know you exist. They don't know you exist. So we're just focusing here on sales as being one of the ways to increase revenue. But it could be that it's taking too long to produce goods or a service. Okay, you might have a great service and you can sell it at a good price, but it's taking 3 times as long as it should to actually produce. So what's the issue there? And that could be, well, okay, if we had the right equipment or if we upgraded our equipment to a later model that had more features and more skills, and we didn't have to keep cleaning it as regularly, or it had more capacity, we could shorten the time it takes to produce. Okay, so we might take 1/3 the time to produce, which gives us more capacity to produce more so we could sell. So our issue with selling might be that we don't have enough product because we're not producing quick enough. So our issue there might be that we might need to investigate buying some new equipment, upgrading our equipment. And then we look at, well, how are we going to pay for that equipment? Do we have the cash available? We might not have the cash, so we might need to finance it. And then we need to look at, well, hang on, how are we going to justify purchasing this equipment and financing it? Particularly say if that equipment is going to cost you $100,000. How are you going to justify the repayment? So what level of sales do you need? Okay, so there we come into, well, hang on, we might need to do some forecasting of our cash flows. We might need to get some help with that in order to, justify or actually see the results of, if we invest in this capital, we're going to have these commitments to repay the finance. And then, but what that's going to do is it's going to enable us to produce more, which means we can sell more at this price. We're going to make more profit, and we're also going to improve our cash flow as a result. So they might be some of the actions we're going to do. So what are the actions that you're going to do in your business? What are the actions that you've identified that you need to take to move forward to get those revenue and profit goals for your business? And then what are the resources? So what are the resources that you're going to need to achieve your goals? And so on the business plan template that you can download from the show notes or the website, you will be able to document those actions you need to take and the resources that you need in order to achieve your goals. So we're moving your business forward. We've identified what your key actions are. We've identified your high-level strategies. Okay. So to increase our revenue from 250 to 500,000, we need to make more sales. In order to make more sales, we need to hire a salesperson, but we also need to have more product to sell. We need to have more product to sell, which means we need to be more efficient. Okay, so step one, we've identified our high-level strategies. Okay, we need to increase our sales by having a more effective sales process, which means we need a salesperson to do that work. We need to be able to have more efficient processes. So we need to reduce the time it takes to produce our product so that we can sell more of the product in the same amount of time. That means we need to look at how our processes work. We've identified that if we upgrade our equipment, we can actually reduce the time it takes by 2/3, and we can then produce more efficiently. But that's going to come at a cost. So we need to finance that operation. Okay, so we've come from the starting point of where we're at the moment, what our goals are, and we've identified the key actions that we need to take and the key priorities of what we need to focus on right now. So we've got lots of ideas for our business, and business owners are always having ideas of what they could be doing. But here, what we've done is we just simplified the process, and we've come up with the 3 key things that you need to do in your business. The 3 priorities of what you need to be focused on right now. So they are the things that you focus on. Okay? They are the things you focus on. But planning is not enough. Just making the plan is not going to be enough. It's not going to help. Okay, we've got the specific goals. We know what the specific actions are, but when are we going to do it by? We need specific time frames that we require for each of these actions, and what's going to be the result. Okay, it might be a case of what comes first out of those steps. Well, one is we review how our production process and try and make it more efficient. The second thing is we then might need to get that equipment in. And the third thing then is we then hire the salesperson to do the selling, because now we have the product to sell. There's no point hiring a salesperson if our issue was that we don't have the product, we don't have the supply. So what actions need to happen in which order by what time frame? Okay. And then who's going to be responsible for that? Now, often in a small, medium business, the business owner is responsible for everything. So, okay, that might be the case that your name goes now next to all of those action items. But if you've got other key people in your team, in your business, maybe you assign some of those actions to your key team members. Okay, because they may have more capacity or more skill in getting those things done than you. And that's why you have those key employees. You want to leverage off their talents and their skills to grow your business. Okay, that's why you hire them. It's like your team members are a key resource for your business, helping you to grow and scale that business so that you can grow and do more with less. So identify who's going to do those actions, and then what's the outcome going to be? Okay, so when you change your production process or put the new machine in, actually record how long it's now taking. Have we achieved the outcomes we desired? So initially, maybe in the first month, instead of reducing the time taken to produce by 2/3, we only reduce it by half. Okay, well, let's look at, if we're only able to reduce the time by half, does that mean we don't quite understand how to use the new equipment? We overestimated how much time we could save? Or there's another issue happening there. There's another step in the process which is causing issues. So let's have a look at that and say, well, hang on, how do we know how effective we've been? How do we know how effective these steps have been? So that's part of that implementation process. So what you need to do is you need to monitor what's going on. So how soon should you monitor? Well, generally 90 days or 3 months is a really good time frame to check back on the success of your actions. Have you done them is the first question. Have you actually acted? Have you implemented those actions? What has been the result? What has been the result? And measure those key outcomes. So if we're talking about we've put new equipment in to be more efficient, well, how much more efficient are we? How many more units are we producing? How much time are we now spending servicing the gear and making it efficient? Making it ready for use, okay? How much time is taken to set up ready to produce or ready to manufacture? What are the things that we're looking at? What are the key things for the business? How are we more efficient? Okay. Do we have more product to sell? Okay, and now are we selling it? Was the problem with our sales that we just didn't have the product? Or is the problem with our sales is that we weren't good at selling and we weren't good at selling. We were getting inquiries, but we weren't selling. So that's where we might need somebody that's actually trained in selling. Or it could be that we've got great product, we produce it really well, it's priced well, it's really good, it's well known, our customers love it, but we don't have enough customers. So how do we attract more customers? So then you might need to say, right, in our next 90-day plan, okay, after we've implemented this new process, we've improved our production cycle, now we need to look at how do we actually attract more customers. So your business plan, remember I said it was a working tool. It's not a static document. It doesn't sit on your table where you put your coffee cup. You need to actually act on it. So for each of those action points, who's going to do what? When are they going to do it by? What resources do they need? And how am I going to measure the effectiveness of that action? How am I going to be accountable? And how am I going to know when I'm successful? All of those questions, all those key steps, you can record on the template that we're making available in the show notes or on the website. So please download that template and start creating your business plan. So that important that you don't just create it. Important that you actually implement and review your actions and results and check in. So you might want to be accountable with somebody. So you working with your accountant or your advisor is a great way to do that. Or if you have other business owners, meeting regularly with them and checking in on your progress is essential. Okay, so key is make it happen. It's not too late to start planning. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Make the decision today. Make it happen. Do your plan, work out your resources, work out what you need to do, make it happen, implement, and then monitor the results. Okay, it's not too late. We want to get you started in the right way. So it's a great way to kick off the new year, even if you're starting 6 weeks late. It doesn't matter if you're starting late, start today. So make it happen. We're going to be here producing more helpful content for you. And look, hey, if there's something that you need help with, if there's a question that you have, then let us know. Contact us at thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com. So podcast at thebusinessbehindyourbusiness.com email. And we will actually try and source somebody with the expertise to answer that question for you. Okay. So we want to make your business grow. We want you to have a successful business, and we'd love to hear from you. So share your comments, share your feedback. Let us know how you go with your business plan, and we'd love to hear more from you. So look, if you've found this helpful today, we'd love you to share this episode. We'd love you to share the podcast with somebody you know that could also benefit from not just the episode we've produced here, but also some of the other conversations that we've got available on the Business Behind Your Business. All the previous episodes are available for you to download in your favorite podcast player or on the website. And we'd love you to share those episodes. And, we want more businesses to grow and be successful. So thanks for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you with you next time.